Hi girls, welcome to the Tuesday class for our B2 class. What I'd like you guys to do first is to take out a notebook, and in your notebook you have 30 seconds to write down all of the different electronic gadgets that you know, okay? So I want you to pause the video now and put 30 seconds on your watch and see how many you come up with, okay? Good. So pause the video, do that, and then come back to the video when you're finished, okay? So hopefully you'll let me know in our WhatsApp messages what different gadgets you came up with. Don't look in the dictionary. Just do that by yourself, okay? All from your own brain. What we're going to do today is we're actually finishing Unit 8. So can you guys go in your book to page, let's see, 70, okay? So I've got it here, page 70, and we're going to actually work on how to do a writing, okay? This is a type of writing that you could find in your B2 exam. It's not an obligatory writing because it's an article. The obligatory writing is an essay, remember? And then in the second part, you have a choice between an article, a review, don't remember what the other ones were, a letter, like a formal letter or an informal letter. Okay, so you have lots of different options. So today we're going to focus on the article and how to write an article. Okay, so one thing that I'd like you guys to do that's really important before we even start is remember, when you actually do the task where you have to write the article, don't use the dictionary, okay? Because now that we're coming to the end of the course, I want you guys to see how much you know that's already in your head. And I want you to write it as quickly as you can, using as much correct grammar and vocabulary as you can related to the topic. Remember, when you're doing the writing, you have 45 minutes to do each writing. So you've got, yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, 90 minutes. You've got 45 minutes for the, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. I just got confused because I'm thinking about a different test. You've got 45 minutes to do the essay and 45 minutes to do whichever other one you have to do. So really, it's a lot of time. So you guys should be fine, okay? What I'd like you to do now is have a look at the writing. Sorry, you can't really see that, okay? So we are talking about the topic of science and technology. So look at number 1. We're going to learn some different phrases that you can use in your writing that you can hopefully incorporate, but you don't have to look at your notebook. You can try to remember them, okay? So you have different words here: account, because, consequently, owing, reason, result, since, therefore, view, and why, okay? And you've got some different expressions. I think you've got 10 of them, and you need to put them in the correct spots, okay? So I'd like you guys to do that. Pause the video, fill in numbers 1 to 10 with the correct word, and then we'll go over it together, okay? So let's see. Okay, so I think you're finished now. Number 1, I'm going to write the answers up here. As a result. Okay, that's a really common phrase, as a result. Sorry, I need to throw this pen in the bin already. This pen is on its last legs. Okay, let me use this one instead. So as a result of the extra tax, the price of electronic goods went up. Okay, what about number 2? Ice occupies more space than water, and that is frozen, pipes burst. That is why. Okay, that is why. You know when, I don't know if this really happens so much in Spain because it's not that cold, but it might. At least I know in Nebraska, when the pipes under the ground that are usually used to carry water from the houses to the sewer or places like that, when the water freezes, it expands, it gets bigger, and the pipes break, they burst. That's what in number 2 means. Burst is like explode, which can be a problem. I don't know if that happens here. Let me know. Number 3, it would take years to reach even the nearest stars to their huge distance from Earth. What do you guys think? The answer is actually owing. Owing to. Owing. I'm going to just put to here as well. Owing to. I know it's in the example, but just so you know, that means because of, okay, or due to. Number 4. Some programs may be running slowly on of a bug in the computer. On account of. Okay, on account. I'm just going to write the whole phrase here. On account of. That means because of. Okay, number 5 says metal is heavier than water. If a ship fills with seawater, it sinks. Okay, I believe that's probably consequently, like as a consequence. Consequently. Okay, these are all really high frequency phrases, so it's really worth it to learn them pretty well and use them, okay? Number 6, laptops are becoming very popular, and the is that you can take them anywhere. The reason, okay? The reason is that you can take them anywhere. Number 7, the tunnel is so far underground, mobile phones don't work. Since, I'm not sure, I've not got the teacher's book with me, so I'm just kind of guessing, but it makes sense, but I'm not sure if they all fit, but we'll see at the end. Since the tunnel is so far underground, mobile phones don't work, okay? 8, in of the fact that hot air is lighter than cold air, a hot air balloon rises from the ground. In view of, I think I've got this right. In view of the fact, you could also say, it's not there, but you could say in light of the fact. We also have that expression, in light of the fact, because, basically, but only because at the beginning of a sentence. Not like, I like ice cream because it's so delicious. You would never say, I like ice cream in view of the fact that it's so delicious. No, you wouldn't really say that. That just sounds ridiculous. But it's because in a formal way, okay? Number 9, sales of cameras are falling of the increasing use of phones to take photos. Sales of cameras are falling because of, because of, okay, because of the increasing use of phones to take photos. And 10, copper, remember we went over this word, it's that type of metal that people rob from telephone wires, is a lot cheaper than gold, and therefore it is widely used for carrying electricity. Therefore, okay, I know you've seen this word quite often. There we go. Okay, so which of these phrases is more formal? That's the next question, or quite formal. So let's have a look. Number 1, as a result of the extra tax. Yeah, number 1 is pretty formal, as a result. Number 2, that is why, no, it's not formal. 3, it would take years to reach even the nearest stars, owing to, that's formal. Number 4, some programs may be running slowly on account of, yes, that is formal as well. 5, metal is heavier than water. Consequently, if a ship fills with water, that is formal. Number 6, laptops are becoming very popular, and the reason, so that's not formal. Number 7, since the tunnel is so far underground, that's not formal either. 8, in view or in light of the fact, that is definitely formal. Number 9, sales of cameras are falling because of that's not formal. And 10, copper is a lot cheaper than gold, and therefore it is widely used. So that's formal. Sorry, that is formal. Okay, so obviously when you write an article, you have to be careful because sometimes it can be formal and sometimes it can be informal. It really depends on the topic. if you're writing to people of the same age as you, and you're writing an article to convince them to come do something cool, or something like that, like you went to a concert and you want to promote it, then you're obviously going to use colloquial words. But if you're writing some type of article about about a scientific topic or an article in an academic setting, you need to use formal language. So this is why this is very important. Look at part 2, article. Well, first of all, in the case that I didn't explain everything clearly enough or with enough time, you can have a look at page 91. I really recommend looking at it anyway, because it gives you the exact format of an article that they're looking for in the Cambridge B2 exam. So you really, before you write, just have a look and see what they're asking of you, what the format looks like, what the structure looks like, what kind of words they use, okay? So we're going to look at the exam task and answer these questions. We have 3 questions. Who will read your article? Why should you write it? And what 2 things do you have to do? So have a look here at the little exam task. It says, you see this announcement in an international magazine. What is the most important piece of technology you have? Write us an article about it, saying why it is so important to you and how it could be improved. The writer of the best article will win a prize. So you need to write your article in 140 to 190 words. That is definitely the limit, 190. But to be honest, if you write 200 words, it's not the end of the world. If you write 130 words, it's not the end of the world. Definitely quality over quantity with these types of writings, okay? But, okay, if you write 100 words, it's not great. You need to try to keep in the same word count. But definitely quality is more important, okay? So, who's going to read your article? Well, you're going to see it in an international magazine. So the people that are going to see your article are probably scientists, other people who are interested in science and technology. If you have any other ideas, let me know. Those are just my ideas. What about 2? Why should you write it? Well, you're writing this article because you need to tell everybody about an important piece of technology that you have, why it's important and how you think it could be improved. That's why you're writing it, basically. And 3, what 2 things do you have to do? Okay, well, the 2 things I just mentioned. It says, write us an article about it, saying why it's important and how it can be improved. So sometimes it's a bit difficult to know how much you need to write for each point. Well, we're going to have a look at that, but I would always give more than one reason why it's so important to you. I always like to use 3 reasons for everything. I always like the number 3. 3 reasons why it's so important to you, and maybe 2 or 3 ways, probably try for 3 that it could be improved. You don't need to write so much about each point, but just mentioning different ideas is really interesting and way more fun for an examiner to correct because it's more interesting, okay? So number 3 says, read the model article and answer these questions. Is the style informal? Is the style very formal or very informal or somewhere in between? Give some examples. Number 2, which paragraphs describe the good things? Which mention problems and suggest improvements? How are readers encouraged to start and continue reading? What are they asked to think about at the end? So we're going to have a look at the model here. My laptop and me. So we're going to just read it together. This is just an example, but I didn't count the words, but it looks a little bit short to me. But it could be that it's a very good article, so we're not sure. The first thing you notice, it has a title, okay? Articles need titles. My laptop and me is the title. Okay, so obviously this person has a laptop. They're very fond of it. It's their favorite piece of technology. Okay, so it says, I couldn't imagine a world without laptops. I use mine at home every day, and it's also my main link to the outside world. And since it's so small, it goes everywhere with me. As an engineering student, I need to do lots of research. As a result, I spend hours online searching for information, and later I key in my assignments. Although I stay in most evenings, I'm never lonely because of all the ways I can keep in touch with friends. Email, instant messaging, Skype, and Facebook. Without my lappy, which is a colloquial word for laptop. It's not really frequently used, but it's just funny. My life would crash. Wonderful though laptops are, technology moves on, and that is why they could be even better. For instance, they can't always be connected to mains electricity, and for that reason, more powerful batteries are needed. Looking further ahead, perhaps one day we'll be interacting with our laptops just by thinking rather than through a keyboard, touchpad, or mouse. Then we could store our thoughts, analyze them, or even send them to other people. Okay, how is this organized? There are 4 paragraphs, which I think is great. You have an introduction about what the piece of technology is. The second paragraph, why it's important to you, why you use it. Okay. The third paragraph, how it could be improved, for example. And also, the last paragraph is talking about the future a little bit. So this person didn't do what I usually do, is put 3 reasons each. You don't have to do 3 reasons. I just always think that that's a nice amount of information, but you can still get a good mark or better mark. It depends on how you write. If you put 2, I would put more than 1 though. Okay, so let's go back to questions here 3. Okay, is the style very informal? Very formal or very informal or somewhere in between? I don't know what you guys think. Can you pause the video, take a minute to answer the questions in 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll get back to each other on that. Okay. So now that you're finished with number 3, in number 1, the style for me is in between. I don't know if you guys agree, because this writer uses words like, oh, sorry, I just got off the page. She used words like lappy, which is a really funny colloquial way to say laptop. I've never heard of it before. I just know that from the context. So that's not formal at all. She or he also uses words like since, I don't know, keep in touch, lots of phrasal verbs, things like that. But at the same time, the writer also uses formal language, like as a result, and wonderful though laptops are, like strange structures that are quite formal, looking further ahead, things like that. Those are quite formal. So it really depends. But I think in this case, an article, if it's talking about you, something personal to you, but it's more of an, I don't know how to explain this. Okay, it's something personal to you. Okay, your best bit of technology, the most important piece of technology you have. It's about you. So it doesn't have to be super formal because it's about you. But if the question asks you about an exterior topic not related to you, it needs to be formal. But because it's about you, it can be a mix between formal and informal. Okay? Number 2, which paragraphs describe the good things, which mention problems and suggest improvements? So good things are in paragraph 2. Okay? She says she keys in or turns in her assignments. She searches for information. She's never lonely because she can talk to friends and everybody. So yeah, she did actually mention 3 topics for the good points. So the good points are in paragraph 2. And bad points are in paragraph 3 with improvements in 4. Okay, so the bad points could be they can't always be connected to electricity, and they need powerful batteries. But she really only mentioned 1 bad thing. I would mention more than 1. I don't know why I keep saying she. I just assume it's a she. And the last one, it says, yeah, improvements. We'll be interacting with our laptops just by thinking. You don't need a keyboard, a touchpad, or a mouse. You could store your thoughts or analyze them or send them to other people. So it's an idea about how this could develop throughout time. All right. And the last one, how are readers encouraged to start and continue reading? What are they asked to think about at the end? So they are encouraged to start and continue reading. First of all, because of the title. The title is interesting. Okay. Also, the first paragraph just talks about why that laptop is interesting for her, and it makes you want to read more because she kind of, or he kind of makes you interested in the topic and draws you into the topic. And at the end, the writer asks you to think about how laptops could be developed over time, which is also interesting. So all around, it's quite an interesting article, okay? In number 4, it says find the following: reason or result links, lively expressions. So lively are like exciting, interesting. They don't have to be formal. And passive verb forms. Okay, so passive is quite formal as well, but it can be used in different contexts. So I want you guys to do number 4 at home. You just need to underline them in the example. So here, number 4. So you can't see that at all, sorry. Oh my gosh, you can't see that. Okay, this, and then you underline it here in the text. Okay, guys, so the last thing we're going to go over is quick steps to writing a part 2 article. Okay, so part 2 is when you have the option between different types of writings. It's not the obligatory one. Write in an entertaining way that will hold your reader's interest, giving some lively expressions. I think when they say lively, it's using words like lappy and my life would crash, wonderful, things like that. Yeah, just different expressions that are interesting and funny. Give reasons for your opinion and possibly also examples, okay, if you have time. Use linking expressions like on account of, in view of, and get readers to think about what you've written by making the ending interesting. You could also end it with a question. That's also a cool thing to do, or you could start it with a question as well, okay? So in number 5, here, okay, it says, think about these questions to get some ideas for your article. So I want you guys to think about questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make some notes in your notebook, and I want you to actually write your article, okay? So this is not for me for this week. It's whenever you have time to do it, whenever you can do it, okay? Write your article, and when you finish, send it to me. Remember, a time limit of 45 minutes. And don't look in the dictionary to write it, okay? You can study all of the words before you write it, but when you're writing it, pretend you're in an exam, okay? Because in the exam, you can't keep looking in the dictionary. So let's try to do it from now on like the exam, okay, guys? Also, when you finish your article, you need to check it, okay? Check your work as in Unit 1 writing exercises on page 14. So on page 14, it says here at the bottom, they have a checklist for you to check how you, if you have correct grammar, vocabulary. It tells you what to look for in your essay and in your article when you've finished, okay? Once you're finished with that, I have another thing I want you guys to do for whenever, not for now. But since we're finished with Unit 8, I want you to please go to page 71. You can't see that. Why is it so bright? This, page 71. And I want you to please do all of the review, the whole page, okay? I know it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not due now. You can give it to me anytime, okay? The last thing I want to mention to you, I completely forgot to mention it at the beginning of this video. There are actually 3 things, okay? First of all, next week, we have no class, okay? So you're not going to have class. You're not going to have a video on Tuesday and a video on Thursday because we have our Easter break as usual, even though we're not going anywhere, but we need a break. Working online is so much harder than working in a classroom. So we've got a little bit of a break, but that doesn't mean that you have a break. You still have to do some work, okay? What work are you going to have? Well, on our website for school, we have lots of different resources that you can look at. When you go on the web page, you're going to have a pop-up screen that has different options. And you need to go to the one that says, I think it's towards the bottom, that says like extra work and websites or resources, and you can go there. At the same time, I have a lot of resources online that I can send you through WhatsApp that work on your listening skills and new vocabulary and grammar. That I can send that to you as well to do a little bit every day. Yeah, so I'll send that to you at the beginning of next week to not overwhelm you with work. The last thing is, I don't have an eraser, so I'm just going to have to write it at the bottom. But we have a competition now every week with the school. Now that we're all in quarantine, we have a competition for students to write only a couple of lines with a picture about a certain topic. So this week's competition is, after this is all over, okay, I'm going to do. So if you are interested in taking part, you need to send me your lines. Hang on, let me write this, okay? After this is all over, I'm going to just here. After this is all over, I'm going to, so by this, we mean staying at home all the time and the coronavirus crisis. So after this is all over, I'm going to go visit my family in Colombia, again with my husband and my family. And I sent a picture in. So I gave Will already my lines and my picture as if I were entering the competition. Okay, so you can send 1 or 2 pictures about something that you want to do again that you used to do in the past, even part of your normal life. I'm going to go to a cafe and sit down and have a coffee. You can have a picture of yourself drinking a coffee or anything. It's just kind of fun so we can do something different every week. Okay, guys? So I'm going to finish this video now. It's quite long. If you have any questions, as usual, you can write to me in WhatsApp, email, whatever you want. You can even send me a video talking. And again, if you want to speak on Skype and do short conversation sessions, just ask me, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, guys? Well, see you later, and we'll talk to you again on Thursday. Bye.